ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. So Hare Krishna. Today we are going to read from Srimad Bhagavatam. This is 4th canto and 26th chapter and verse is 6. So this chapter is entitled as King Puranjana goes to forest to hunt and his queen becomes angry. Yes. So actually our caption is assembly of cheaters and cheated. Srila Prabhupada he mentioned in this purport. So here is the verse. Tirtheshu pratidrishteshu raja medhyan pasun bane yavat artham alam lubdho hanyat iti niyamyate. Tirtheshu pratidrishteshu raja medhyan pasun bane yavat artham alam lubdho hanyat iti niyamyate. So the translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So here it is said, if a king is too attracted to eating flesh, he may, according to the directions of the revealed scriptures on sacrificial performances, go to the forest and kill some animals that are recommended for killing. One is not allowed to kill animals unnecessarily or without restrictions. The Vedas regulate animal killings to stop the extravagance of foolish men influenced by the mode of passion and ignorance. Purport. The question may be raised, why a living being should be restricted in sense gratification? So if a king to learn how to kill may go to the forest and kill animals, why should a living entity who has been given senses not be allowed unrestricted sense gratification? At the present moment, this argument is put forward even by so-called swamis and yogis who publicly say that because we have senses, we must satisfy them by sense gratification. These foolish swamis and yogis, however, do not know the injunctions of the Shastras. Indeed, sometimes these rascals come out to defy the Shastras. They even publicly announce that there should be no more Shastras, no more books, just come to me. So they say, and I shall touch you, and you will become immediately spiritually advanced. Because demoniac people want to be cheated, so many cheaters are present to cheat them. At the present moment, in this age of Kali Yuga, the entire human society has become an assembly of cheaters and cheated. For this reason, the Vedic scriptures have given us the proper directions for sense gratification. So everyone is inclined in this age to eat meat, fish, drink liquor, and indulge in sex life. But according to the Vedic injunctions, sex is allowed only in marriage. Meat eating is allowed only when the animal is killed and offered before the goddesses Kali. And intoxication is allowed only in a restricted way. In this verse, the word niyamyate indicates that all these things, namely animal killing, intoxication and sex, should be regulated. So regulations are meant for human beings, not for animals. The traffic regulations on the street telling people to keep to the right or the left. He is never punished. Yes. Are meant for the human beings, not for animals. If an animal violates such a law, he is never punished, but a human being is punished. The Vedas are not meant for the animals, but for the understanding of human beings, human society. A person who indiscriminately violates the rules and regulations given by the Vedas is liable to be punished. One should therefore not enjoy his senses according to his lusty desires, but should restrict himself according to the regulative principle given in the Vedas. If a king is allowed to hunt in a forest, it is not for his sense gratification. We cannot simply experiment in the art of killing. If a king, being afraid to meet rogues and thieves, kills poor animals and eat their flesh comfortably at home, he must lose his position. Because in this age, kings have such demoniac propensities. Monarchy is abolished by the laws of nature in every country. People have become so degraded in this age that that on the one hand they restrict polygamy, and on the other hand they hunt for women in so many ways. Many business concerns publicly advertise that topless girls are available in this club or in that shop. Thus, women have become instruments of sense enjoyment in modern society. The Vedas enjoin, however, that if a man has the propensity to enjoy more than one wife, as is sometimes the propensity of men in the higher social order, such as the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas, and even sometimes in the Sudras, he is allowed to marry more than one wife. Marriage means taking complete charge of a woman and living peacefully without debauchery. At the present moment, however, debauchery is unrestricted. Nonetheless, society makes a law that one should not marry more than one wife. This is typical of a demoniac society. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakhyur Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kadamayham Dadante Swa Padantikam Bandeham Sri Guru Sri Utapudakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamsa Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Nitam Tvam Sajivam Sa Advaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakha Nitamsa. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So before beginning to speak on this particular verse, Srila Prabhupada mentioned so many good instructions for all of us. Although I am not qualified to speak, but I will try what I have heard, what I have realized. So that's why I seek all of your blessings to speak. So the class is in English. So later I will try to make it. I will put this caption that will help all of you to understand. Those who are Hindi speaking, Hindi knows, don't understand English. So please try to understand it. So let's begin it. So here it says, Tirtheshu pratidrishteshu Raja Medhyan Pasun Bane Yavat Artham Alam Lubdha Hanyat Iti Niyamyate. So here it is said, Pasun Bane. Yes, Pasun Bane. Pasu means animals. So, if a king is attracted to eating flesh, so many people are attracted to eat meat, fish, eggs. So, if someone has that desire in the society, there are maximum number of people are prone to eat the animal flesh. हम दीभा में जाते हैं तो I see in morning time, if you will go to that platform side, so train station, so near to there is a fish market. So many people are in queue to get some good fish. So there is one institution, a spiritual institution, very famous in India. They also eat dhinga mach. So once I heard in 1992, Lal Krishna Advani, he came to our temple. So our temple authorities were telling Hindus should not eat meat. Hindus should not eat fish. So Lal Krishna Advani was surprised. वो सोच रहा है ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है? How is it possible? Everyone is eating. So here it is said, if someone has that attraction, so what the Shastra says, the revealed scriptures actually give directions for that. Tirtheshu pratidrishteshu. Tirtheshu means in holy places. There are so many holy places. Holy place means where the Lord resides, where the Lord appeared, where the devotees reside. That is called Tirtha place, Tirtha, holy places. Holy places does not mean, somewhere people's had that's bad propaganda. They have this propaganda. Then here, if you will go, then your manaskamana will be fulfilled. Jo bhi desires. So it is not like that. Tirtheshu pratidrishteshu. So in the Shastra ya Vedas, it is mentioned that yes, go to the forest and kill some animals that are recommended for killing. So those animals are recommended for killing, you can kill. It is not that one should go and kill a cow, bull. No. These are not recommended. Yavat arthan alam lubdho. So if someone is greedy, so that's why one is not allowed to kill animals unnecessarily or without restrictions. But nowadays people are killing the animals unnecessarily. So we hear from the Shastra that how one Mrigari, he was killing the animals. So not that he killed the animals completely, no. Half killing. Half killing means वो थोड़ा सा मार देता था, छोड़ देता था. That animal was suffering. Yes. So Narada Muni, when he met that Mrigari, animal hunter, he said, why you are killing? Then that Mrigari was telling, oh sadhu, don't stop me. Why you are coming here to give advice? If you want some deer skin, I will give you. Take this deer skin and do some meditation. It will be good for you. So why you are coming here to instruct me? Narada Muni said, he is in more ignorance. Let me help this person. So Narada Muni, he asked, so this is sin. Whatever you are killing the animals, जो भी आप मार रहे हो, this is sin. पाप है. No. This is why? Why this is sin? This is our hereditary business. My father was doing, my grandfather was doing. Whole dynasty we are just continuing this business. There is no sin. Pet post nahi dos. In Orissa they says pet post nahi dos. No. You can, maintain your body and family in other profession also. There is no need to kill the animals. Yes, there is those. There is a, this is a fault. So Narada Muni said, okay, you go and ask your family members whether they accept whatever you are doing, the sins you are doing. If they will take something, that's good. And when this Mrigari went to his home and asked his family members that, would you all like to take the sins I am doing? Then all rejected his plan. He said, no, it is your duty to maintain us, to maintain the family. Then Mrigari understood, yes, no one is ready to take my sin. I am the only one who will suffer. Then Mrigari came and he surrendered to Narada Muni. He became a devotee. That is the story. So unnecessary animal killings is prominent in this age. There is no restriction. So they have opened the slaughterhouses. So that's why the Vedas regulate animal killing to stop the extravagance of foolish men influenced by the mode of passion and ignorance. So peoples are actually influenced by this mode of passion and ignorance. Recently, my 10th batch students, they did one program. So in that program, they were inviting me, but just try to understand what they were doing in that program. They, that day, eat animals' place. They were dancing in DJ. And they all gathered and they did all these things. So I, although told them, I said them that, don't do this. After 20 years, you all are gathering. So don't do harm to any animals. Please be merciful to them. At least you get some benefits. You will get some blessings. But they did not hear me. They did that. So, because nowadays people are talking about all these things. आज सभी लोग बात कर रहे हैं that Hindu Rashtra, Sanatan Dharma. But how to be a Sanatani? How to be Hindu? How to follow what our Vedas says, what our scripture says? So Srila Prabhupada wrote this good purpose. By reading this purpose, we all can get so many good, nice teachings. And these teachings also helps us, motivates us to go forward in our life, to come out from those lower modes of nature to the higher modes of nature, to become Sattvagun. So the question is that why a person is restricted? Why the restriction is there? Why? One very famous sadhu now, he is called himself Sadguru. Sometimes he explains all this like, also was also there. So many saintly persons were there. So they always propound this idea, why should be there is a restriction? So they give the arguments, even the demigods, even the higher beings, even the cultured people. That's why in Gita Krishna says, Yatato hapi kaunteya purusascha vipaschita indriyani pramathini haranti prasabha mana. So it is a yatatopi kaunteya, O Kunti Putra. A person, even he is a great scholar. Sometimes he is being illusioned. Indriyani pramathini, the senses are so strong. They have the demands. The demands actually always tease the senses, do this, do this. And senses also helplessly act in that way. And their mind was attracted, mind was allured. And mind actually detects the senses. Oh, do this. Aap kar lo. Why this restriction? Srila Prabhupada, in this purport, he emphasized why there is restriction. Yes, restriction agar nahi hoga to kya hoga? So, if a king like Puranjana, so this story was being told by Narada Muni, because Narada Muni was preaching to Prachina Varishat. So this is an allegoric story that how King Puranjana was involved in all the sacrificial activities. He was doing so many yajnas. So if a king is there, he wants to learn how to kill, then he must go to the forest and kill the animals. What kind of animals? The animals like tiger, lion, leopard, the forest buffalo, rhinoceros. Yes, so very dangerous animals. Sometimes these animals are carnivores. They eat the human being. So for that purpose, the king, the prince, they goes to the forest to learn how to kill. This is like a military training. Previously, military training. Once I saw one of my senior brother. When he just saw some blood, he becomes senseless. Thoda sa khoon dekha to, if in the battlefield, someone will see, there are so many people are screaming. They are suffering. Blood is coming. So many people are dying, crying. Then you will become senseless. Ladhega kya? Isliye, there is a need of war in the society. So for that purpose, the kings, the ruling class person must be trained off. So sometimes people give the argument. Because, the living entity has senses. Then not to be allowed unrestricted sense gratification. तो ये क्वेश्चन पूछा जा रहा है कि भाई हम क्यों ना दें? Once Srila Prabhupada met one of the father in Germany. So Srila Prabhupada was telling that in Bible there is a commandment. That commandment is, thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not kill. Hatya mat karo. But the Christians are master in killing. Then Srila Prabhupada was asking to that father, Jesus has enough intelligence. He used this word kill. But why all of you interpreted in such a way that you have written, thou shalt not murder. Murder means we use this word for the human beings. Manushya ke liye. So that's why here we are discussing this point. Yes, thou shalt not murder. So Prabhupada says that yes, we should not kill at least the cows, bulls, because they are our parents, father and mother, they give us milk. Bulls are engaged in the field for cultivation. So ये जो हम देख रहे कि ये situation में, in this situation, that father was telling, if people have demand for eating meat, then how can we stop them? That's why we allow them to kill the animals to eat. So Prabhupada said that nowadays the so-called swamis and yogis, they also publicly saying that yes, because we have senses, we must satisfy them by sense gratification. These types of foolish swamis and yogis, they do not know the shastric injunction, shastra. And sometimes they come out to defy the shastras. There is one famous sannyasi, very famous Swami. He said, it is better to play football than reading Bhagavad Gita. फुटबॉल खेलना अच्छा है, किससे? गीता पढ़ने से. It is better to grow brinjal than worship tulsi. Such swamis are praised in modern time. They are glorified. As soon as you hear such swamis, so sometimes they say, I have never read the Shastra, they say. There is no need to read the scriptures, they say. Even these books are just, bunch of papers. For them it is like that. इतना बड़ा बड़ा rascal है. Sometimes they publicly announce करते हैं, no more shastras, no more books. Just come to me, just touch me, you will get some self-realizations. You will become spiritually advanced. If you look at the Christians community, sometimes the father, and the more they advocating this way, and people say by just touching, by giving some ashribad de diya, and it becomes, rather they don't want to take the process. So that's a Krishna consciousness moment is all over world, widely preaching this message strongly that how to understand the scriptures, how to read the scriptures. So that through our lectures, through our day-to-day activities, through our personal behavior, we try our best to help others. So specifically when we give these books, where in these books these things are written. So if any sane person, any intelligent person will read, I hope he will get the teachings, he will help the society. Yes, that would bring a revolution in the society. So nowadays, if you look at so many students, so many peoples, they are actually switching off from the material platform to the spiritual platform in their life. So these types of demoniac peoples, those who are in the mode of passion and ignorance, they don't want to follow anything. Sometimes they are actually cheated by the cheaters. And in this Kali Yuga, the entire human society has become an assembly of cheaters and cheated. Everywhere. So yesterday we were preaching in Kalyan, in Vithalwadi area, in front of the Vithalwadi railway station. So many, our Jugal Prem Prabhu was telling, so from 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock, we just distributed 7 Mahavir books, then 5 to 6 medium books, and small books 15, I think, 15 small books. So we could distribute this amount of books, and we are trying to stop the peoples and telling them, please take the books, please read these books, please circulate these books, give a gift to your friends and relatives. But very few people were coming. So we all are educated people. Why we are doing this hard services, although people don't like to? One thing is that it is good for our own spiritual growth, for our own sadhana. Second thing is that Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Yaidam paramam guhyam madbhaktesu abhidyasati. So this secret knowledge of the revealed Vedic scriptures. If someone is going to tell others, going to teach others, going to preach others, help others to understand, he will get pure devotional services. And at the end, he will go to the spiritual world. This is the message. But people's, because they never read, even if the educated people, highly educated peoples, they don't read the scriptures. And some person come and whatever they speak, they blindly follow. If you tell them the truth, the right way of understanding, still they will not understand. So that's why the Vedic scriptures have given us the proper direction for sense gratification. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Kama means fulfilling the desires. Ichha ko puri karna hai. So this animal killing, intoxication, sex be regulated by through the instruction of the scriptures. So this regulations is meant for the human beings, not for the animals. Suppose for us, if there is no rules, no regulations, if you are driving a car on the road, because I am inside this vehicle, I am always traveling. Sometimes we see there is no signal, no traffic police, and people still drive in any way. कोई इधर से गाड़ी घुसा रहे, वो कोई इधर से, like that. That time it is very much difficult. The peoples are all in line. They don't get the passage to go. If there is proper timing and it is regulated, then smoothly you can move on road. Same way, here is said that Prabhupada says that like the traffic rules are there for the human beings, not for the animals. If there is a signal and it is red now, the sign is red signal, and as a human being we stop there. But if the dog is passing, वो तो ऐसा ही घुस जाएगा अंदर. And traffic police will never say stop, show your license. He will not ask. Traffic police never ask. पूछेगा भी नहीं. So that's why if an animal violates such law, he is never punished, but a human being is punished. Animal life means it itself is a punishment. Yes, it itself is a punishment. Because in the animal life, this ahar, nidra, bhaya, maithun, they do all these things but in a fearful condition, always fearful. कुत्ता कौन मार देगा, क्या होगा, we can. The animals are always fearful. So the Vedas are meant for the animals, not meant for the animals, but for the understanding of human society. So yesterday also one boy, he is a graduate in commerce. He came to our stall, he was asking Vedas, asking me, have you Vedas? He wants to read. So many people, when they hear the lectures about Vedas, about Upanishads, about Puranas, so they immediately try to understand the Vedas. They have this inclination, but they don't want to study the Sanskrit. They don't want to understand from a spiritual person, from a guru. Sometimes they try to understand by seeing long beard, a saffron dress, so-called swamis. They try to understand. But these people are misleading the people. लोग कई बार mislead कर देते हैं. So that's why the devotees of the Lord, Vedescha sarveir aham eva vedya. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, amongst the Vedas, I have to be known. Krishna has to be known. Krishna को जानना है. Because he is the compiler of the Vedas. Vedanta kritvid videyi bachaham. And Krishna knows the Vedas. So that's why, so Vedas are meant for the human society. Then the question arises, what is Vedas? Vedas means just Rug Ved, Sam Ved, Athar Ved, Jajur Ved. That's 4 only? No. Vedas means knowledge. It extends to all the spheres of life, all the different parts of our life, both material, spiritual, everything. It includes everything, Vedas. So that's why the Vedas has these injunctions: what to do, what not to do. Kim karma, kim karyam, kim akaryam. What is karma, what is akarma? Akarya. So if a person who indiscriminately violates the rules and regulations given by the Vedas is liable to punished. Punishment means, it is said in Bhagavad Gita, Agyascha asradhanascha sansayatma vinashrati nayam lokoasti na paro sansayatmanaha. Sansayatmani, if someone has doubt, he will not get happiness in this life, because doubtful अभी भी doubt कर रहा है. हर जीवन में हर चीज को doubt करेगा. He will not get happiness in this life and next life also. It is not possible that by just doing this. So the punishments are there. What kind of punishment? So punishment is, if you will now violate, break the rules and regulations, immediately the police is there. The government has made the jails. Yes, sometimes they have detain the people. Yes, on lawful activities. कई बार कर देते. So that's why punished. If someone continues to do this, after death also, there is the place of Yamaraj. So Yamaraj, he is the presiding deity, officer, appointed authority by the Supreme Lord, that to punish the sinful human beings. केवल मनुष्य को ही वहाँ डालते हैं, not the animals. So that's why one should not enjoy his senses according to the lusty desires. Due to this lusty desires, kama, it induces the people to do this, lusty desires. So Srila Prabhupada says, Kama esa krodho esa rajoguna samudbhava mahasana mahapatma vidhim enam hi bairinam. This is the enemy of all the living entities. What? Lust. A lusty desire means kamana ho gaya, desire ho gaya, let me to enjoy, let me to kill someone, let me to take some intoxication. So here, that's why if a king is allowed to hunt in a forest, it is not for sense gratification. Not for sense. Even if in 1970s, those days, in the kings of Jaipur, they used to go to the forest for hunting. That is a part of training. So we cannot experiment this art of killing. We cannot experiment. So Prabhupada says, if a king being afraid of to meet rocks and thieves kills poor animals and eats their flesh compared to home, he must lose his position. Why the monarchies collapsed in all over the world? Now the dictators, some of the countries, कई बार लोग है, dictators are there. Dictators means like Saddam Hussein, Idi Amin, Muhammad Gaddafi, and in Pakistan also sometimes the dictatorship was Zia-ul Haq, what is his name? There are dictators, like they rule the country like the king. Monarchy was collapsed because the kings were affected with demoniac propensities. Because this is the laws of nature in every country, it is thrown out the monarchy system. धीरे धीरे खत्म हो गई. So although we all want Ramarajya, we all have this vision. There should be a great leader. The leaders should have proper, character, his living standard. We want to see some good qualities. But when you see a leader has all good qualities, we actually give votes. But because in Kali Yuga, people choose their leaders whom they vote, that person who tries their best to fulfill their small desires, like 2 रुपया में चावल मिलेगा, बिजली free, water free. So they never see that what is good for the society, what is good for the nation. If someone is not giving me 2 kilos of rice, in spite of giving 2 kilos of rice, if someone is empowering me to purchase basmati rice, who is better? कौन better है? दोनों में से who is empowering me to purchase basmati rice instead of eating this 2 rupees rice? If someone is empowering me to pay the bill of the electric bill, water bill, all these things, then if the tax we pay, then we will have good road, we will have better facilities. So who is good? But unfortunately people's, due to their ignorance, they actually choose these types of governments, these types of politicians या leaders who takes them to the ditch, और जहाँ पर खड्डा है वहाँ लेके जाएगा. So one more point Srila Prabhupada said about polygamy. So 1 month before, one of my friends, she is a lady, she was telling me, so her friend was tortured at home always because she does not look like, means she is a little bit black in color, maybe not good looking. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए, सबको हमको देखना चाहिए अच्छा good looking में. Her husband was every day drinking, and that person was beating her wife, his wife, and he was always threatening that I will leave you, I will leave you, take divorce from me. So that lady whom I counsel, she was telling कि प्रभु जी, what to do in such cases? What to do? She said that take divorce and do your own business and be empowered, live life, live separately. So as soon as one sees such things, that person will immediately give such advices. है ना, तुरंत विच्छेद हो जाए, अलग रहे, अपना ही करे. But what our sister says, yes, sometimes here Srila Prabhupada says, Brahmana, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas, even sometimes Shudras, sometimes the male sections are attracted towards the women. And the polygamy was there previously, and the society was also allowed them to marry more than one wife. Just try to understand what is the philosophy behind it. If you will not do this, not allow them, not marry more wives, then that person will go to where to the prostitution. Will be. Yes, this is going on. That's why in Mumbai, there are so many. I heard that 3,000 to 4,000 girls, those who are doing prostitution in Mumbai, itne sare. They don't have any husband. They don't have any caretaker in their life. Koi hai nahi. So, sometimes Srila Prabhupada here says, many business concerns publicly advertise that topless girls are available in this club or in that club. So there are two words very famous, topless and bottomless. Sometimes the girls nowadays are roaming in the street. They don't have cloth on the top and sometimes they don't have cloth in the bottom. नीचे भी नहीं कपड़े, ऊपर भी कपड़े नहीं. I don't understand why these girls, they don't have any knowledge, brain, intelligence. They are just roaming like without cloth. Okay, it is good. Sometimes the boys move because due to the body. That's good. But even if the boys, they properly dress themselves, properly, yes. मुझे अगर कोई बोलेगा कि move in गंजी, I cannot. No, I cannot move. In a banyan, I cannot move. So, in the modern society, the human women have become instruments of sense enjoyment. That's why you can see the big billboards, pubs, cinemas, dramas, everywhere they are trying to show in every advertisement. Every advertisement. Suppose you want toothpaste, if there is an advertisement toothpaste, a girl is showing his teeth. अच्छा अच्छा दिख रहा है, बहुत अच्छा. If some dresses are there, some jewelry, what about even car? कार एडवर्टाइज होगा भी उधर दो लड़की खड़ा करेंगे. Even for drinking wine advertisement also, they are showing the girls everywhere. So that's why Vedas enjoin that if a man has the propensity to enjoy more than one wife, as is sometimes the propensity for a man in the higher social order, he is allowed to marry. Recently in Bharat, India, so we restricted the means there was they want to bring this union civil code, I think. Yes, civil code. They want to put this, that for all the citizens in India should follow civil code. Yes, one rule and regulations code for everybody. So generally the Muslims, Mohammedans, they marry 2, 3 wives, 4 wives. Why? Because these people are warrior class. ये सारे जो है ना, ज़्यादातर Kshatriyas are there. They always fight, these peoples. So they had that means intensity, propensity. That's why their culture that you can marry 2, 3 women like that. But if we will tell these things, so how to implement? You cannot implement the things. If we will circulate that, yes, one can marry more than one wife. And all Hare Krishna people are advocating this. They may say that. But Srila Prabhupada is telling and in his purport that yes, in the Shastra it is mentioned, polygamy was there. When Jajati Maharaj was requested by Sarmistha, that Sarmistha says that I want some children. Then Jajati Maharaj gave 3 children. Children were there, yes. So marriage means taking complete charge of a woman and living peacefully without debauchery. So marriage means this, that you have to take responsibility of the woman. If you you do not take the responsibility of woman, then don't marry. Don't marry. So that's why the society makes a law that one should not marry more than one wife. So this is called demoniac society. Srila Prabhupada, this is called demoniac society. So here, as we discuss in this, so how the society, this is the assembly of cheaters and cheated. Because one section of the people, those who are in the top class, like the politicians, the leaders, they are misleading without following the Vedic scriptures, the Vedic injunctions. So, what we should do in our life? We should advocate, we should help the society to study the scriptures and try to understand what is there, what is actually meant for all of us, what is good for all of us. We should take the good lessons and implement in our life. So this is the end of this lecture. Thank you very much for hearing this lecture, and so many so I am so much suffering for cough, taking medicine. So those who come online to hear my lectures, for you heard something, but due to this is a lecture, it means we should talk in detail on the topic. It is not that 2 minutes, 3 minutes lecture and it may go viral, people may see. No, not like that. So I like always to clarify the whatever our doubts, that should be clear. So thank you very much. Maheshwar Prabhu also he heard, and now you are watching, someone is there, but it is just showing that one person is there. But anyway, so we'll end here. Thank you very much. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.